This video is going to hurt me a lot more than it's going to hurt you. I can't believe we've never answered this question, but it's a good one, so here goes. Have you ever been seriously injured due to being blind? Sure, there's been a couple of times where I've been pretty badly hurt, but I sort of get banged up all the time. You know, if I'm walking around maybe a low-hanging branch or a tree, or maybe I'll hit a light pole or walk into a sign, you know, or maybe even just bump into a coffee table. You know, that's the kind of stuff that happens in my everyday life. If I'm walking around the winter, maybe I'll get a face full of snow, you know, or maybe step into a giant puddle, right? Sometimes I'll burn myself while I cook, or walk into a parked car. Sometimes even if I'm walking through a crowd of people, I'll slam into somebody. Or they'll slam into me, you know, they're not looking. Maybe I'll trip on something and fall. Or one of my favorites, when someone leaves the door half open, I'll bang right into it. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I mean, it's part of the blind experience, I think. I'm out having dinner at one of the local places, right? I haven't been there too often by myself, but you know, I know my way around. I know how to get there and back. But there's a light pole that's right in the middle of the sidewalk that's right as you come out of the place. And I walked into it and bang, I just hit it so hard with my head. And I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I hope no one saw. And then I just crossed the street and just as fast as I could run him with a stick. Because I was afraid somebody saw me, you know, and it was embarrassing. I mean, it must look strange to see somebody go head first into a pole. That has to be weird. I'm walking around my mom's neighborhood, okay? I had to go out and pick something up. And I'm just walking through the neighborhood, minding my own business, and all of a sudden, boom! I hit my head on the back of a truck, you know, with the door open. Just open wide like that. And I hurt myself so badly, I just said, forget it, I don't care. I'm going back home. It hurt for a long time. That was a good one. I always reach up and see if there's any blood. That's the first thing I do. Every time I have one of these little head injuries. And so far so good, I haven't bled from any of them. Now I'm gonna go, like on the way home tonight, I'm gonna hit something. It's gonna, you know, require 52 stitches. One time I'm home, just sort of walking around the house, and somebody had sent me a text, so I'm texting back, just typing on my phone, and bang, right into the door frame of the kitchen. And I hit it hard. I really did. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. No blood. But when I went back to work that Monday, somebody's like, hey, what happened to you? You got a black eye. I said, I do? They're like, yeah, did you get in a fight? I said, no, you'd never believe it if I told you. Another home story. It was after a company Christmas party one year, okay? That's all you need to know. I came out of the bathroom, carpeted stairs, and I must have hit it funny. And I just fell and fell all the way down the stairs. There's even a curve in them and everything. The person who was at my house was like, oh my God, it looks like you were on a water slide. That was cool. And the next day, all day, I'm like, boy, my ribs hurt. And I talked to the person who was at my house. I said, man, my ribs hurt. What happened last night? He's like, oh, you fell down the stairs from top to bottom. Oh my God. And it hurt for days. Like I couldn't laugh or cough or anything. It hurt too much. It was ridiculous. I'm at my high school reunion, okay? And I'm walking around side of guide with somebody, and we're just walking around the place, hanging out, doing our thing. And we walk down these stairs, and I don't know, one of the stones was loose or something, and my foot came down funny, and it hurt. And like, come on, shake it off, crybaby, let's go. We got places to go. And I said, okay. So like for the rest of the afternoon, I'm like, man, my foot really hurts. This is bad. And then we had this sort of formal dinner to go to. And so we went, and we're hanging out, had a couple of beers and, you know, a little steak or whatever. And at the end of the meal, it was time to go and go, you know, go outside and hang out. And I stood up and I could not put an ounce of weight on my foot. It was crazy. I don't know how to limp. You know, I've never seen anybody do it, so I don't know how the right way to limp. So I just sort of walked as best as I could and held on to somebody, got outside. And, you know, as it would be, like at a school reunion, there's going to be some nurses and stuff. And there they were. And they just took my foot and put it up for the night. And I didn't move. I just sat there hanging out. And I had my foot on ice and then water and stuff. And the next morning, I went to the hospital. And I found out that I'd broken the 5th metatarsal on my right foot. And I had to walk around with one of those big giant boots on. It was cool. It was a good look. 1 sneaker and 1 boot. What, did you dress yourself today, Tommy? What happened? You know when it first starts getting cold, right? And the weather changes, and there's this thing that happens called a wintry mix. and it's all different kinds of precipitation at once. So I was out with my little sister one night, and we're hanging out, and she dropped me back. I was staying at my mom's that night, so she dropped me off there. And I'll never forget, I stepped out of the car and just slid, boom, all the way down into the garage door. It just knocked the wind out of me. It was like somebody literally pulled the floor right out from under me. Now here I am just on my behind right at my garage door trying to stand up. And I just can't because it's so slippery. And there's nothing around me. There's a solid wall to my left and nothing to the right. And so I just sort of tried to pull myself along the wall until I could get to the stairs and then, go up them and get myself in the house. But that was really scary. I'd always heard about that kind of thing, but never experienced it before. I don't know if you've ever been to New York City or ridden a commuter train, but one of the things that can happen is that there'll be a gap between the train and the platform. So we were running to catch a shuttle from Times Square over to Grand Central Station one day. Okay, I'm going sighted guide, and we got to go quick. And he gets on the train, and I slip and fall right between the train and the platform. And that was really scary. And I've actually done that twice. I did it on Metro North too. I don't know what I was doing. I'm not paying attention. And I thought the spot between the cars was where I could get on. And so I just stepped out and boom, right to the ground. And that was a funny one because people are all freaking out around me. Like, can I help you? Just hold my stick for me. And I just pulled myself up. I think it comes up to, about here maybe. That's a pretty good pull up, but embarrassment gives you all kinds of energy, believe me. Love hurts. Hurts so good. Do. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Everybody hurts sometime. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Do.